this is Lady Boulay, and hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. We've talked about this guy before. This is Mark Robinson. He is the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, running for the governor of North Carolina. He has pissed off just about everybody that he can, including black people, saying black people should pay reparations to the United States and other things, just saying things that he knows these conservative white people want to hear. Well, he has managed to step on just about everybody else's toes too. So now he's trying to play a victim, like racism against the liberals or showing racism against him. So now that he knows that he really doesn't have a base, he's trying to make excuses. So MSN reported this article, and it's entitled, "Accused of Bigotry, North Carolina Governor Candidate Proclaims He's the Real Victim." When it comes to Republican gubernatorial nominee Mark Robinson, the question isn't which of his bigoted remarks to mention, but when to stop. Since he won the North Carolina primary earlier this month, the state's one-term lieutenant governor has faced criticism for a long litany of comments in interviews, in sermons, and on social media, in which he quoted Hitler, referred to LGBTQ people as filth, depicted Muslims as terrorists, and said certain Hollywood actresses were dressed as whores. Ooh, he's paying that close attention to them. Now he sounds like these old black men back in the day, sitting under a shade tree playing dominoes and talking about everybody. Faced with questions about whether he is anti-Semitic, homophobic, anti-Muslim, and misogynistic, Robinson, who is black, naturally responded by arguing that actually he is the real victim of bigotry. Ironically, Robinson made this allegation on a podcast hosted by right-wing provocateur Charlie Kirk, who has called George Floyd a scumbag, said he wonders if black pilots are qualified to fly a plane, which lets you know he's ignorant because no airline is going to hire a pilot without having a pilot's license. And you can't get a pilot's license if you don't know how to fly a plane. He also says that Martin Luther King Jr. was awful, and that's his opinion because Martin Luther King Jr. was the one that shattered their delusions about themselves. This guy is disgusting. For a black person to sit there and engage a person like Charlie Kirk, to me says that black person has no self-awareness and no self-respect and no knowledge, real knowledge or appreciation for black history. And these conservatives always want to throw up George Floyd. They are offended by the fact that black people respected the life of George Floyd. Nobody said he was a saint. Nobody even said he was an upstanding man. What everybody is saying is that what happened to him was inhumane. But for some reason, they have a need for black people to denounce George Floyd and exonerate Derek Chauvin. And that's pretty much not going to happen anytime soon. So back to the article. When Kirk asked why Robinson believes he's such a threat to the MSNBC crowd, the candidate cried racism. First of all, he's not a threat to the MSNBC crowd. He's not a threat to anybody. According to Robinson, liberals are only reminding people of his extremism because they fear a black man holding power in the Republican Party might appeal to disaffected black voters in the Democratic Party. Well, if he's the one that's going to appeal to black voters, I fear they will be disappointed because he doesn't have any power in the Republican Party. All he can do is get up and parody what the talking heads in the Republican Party have told him to say. That's all the power that he has. And I hear black people talking about the Republican Party and Trump, Trump, Trump. And then on the other hand, they're talking about tangibles and a black agenda and reparations. I don't hear the Republican Party responding to any of that. So just going over there and proclaiming Republicans and Trump out of spite for the Democratic Party does not seem like an effective strategy to me. He said, and he wanted to quickly clear this up, Robinson has conceded at times that he wrote posts that were poorly worded, but claims that they were not anti-Semitic. See, he's going to clean that up really quickly because he knows where that's going to lead. As for Robinson's supposed strategy, there's no evidence he has any sort of broad appeal among black voters. Well, that's what I'm thinking. In his 2020 Lieutenant Governor's race, his opponent won by a large margin all of the majority black counties in the state. Well, see, that ought to tell him something right there. There are majority black counties in the state, and he didn't win any of them. Robinson is, however, the type of candidate Republicans like to prop up to give voters the impression that far-right ideas have valence among black folk, black men in particular. Well, that's all it is, just propping him up, hoping they can pick off a few black people who really are fed up with politics, who really don't see any progress that black people are making for real. No legislation is being passed in our favor, and it seems like they're doing everything they can to take back what we've gained. But unfortunately, the Republican Party is not the place. If the Democratic Party is not the place, neither is the Republican Party. Because nobody is really going to make life any better for us than it is. It is never the person in the White House with black people. It's always the person, the man or the woman in your house. That's the only way we get anywhere. Robinson has denounced Martin Luther King Jr. as a communist. Wow. He's more like the self-hating Uncle Ruckus of the Boondocks fame. Yes, that's what I would say about him. A self-hating black man who's looking for some kind of identity among white men who have never cared anything about him or anybody that looks like him. This is a very confused man. He's called Michelle Obama a man. Wow. And said other extremely offensive things about her. And he's bemoaned the civil rights movement because he says so many freedoms were lost during that period, which lets you know right there he doesn't know anything about constitutional law. But the fact that he's shrouding himself in victimhood, portraying himself as some sort of black icon under attack from leftists, suggests he recognizes that the remarks may be hurting him in the general election, and he's looking for some way, any way, to get past them. No, he's not going to be able to get past those things. If you got to go and demean and degrade other people to win an election, that should tell you right there that you are not the right person for that job. And this whole thing about going after black women, talking about, well, I said in another video that this man suffered childhood abuse. And I said then, instead of running for office and trying to gain acceptance from people that will never accept him, he needs to be in therapy to get some help for himself so he doesn't pass that trauma on to the next generation, because I think he does have children. Okay, this is a very sad person. And not only that, but he's really somebody who needs to get somewhere and sit down. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.